Hi, everyone. This is Suri Deitch, and thanks for joining us for our MPA webinar. We're just going to give ourselves another minute in case we get anyone else joining us. Thanks for taking time to be with us today. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start because the Loyola University church bells are ringing, which are always a minute late. I'm Suri Deitch, and I'm Dean of the School of Professional Advancement. There I am. And I'm here with Halima Leek Francis, who is the lead faculty member. And the two of us, with our colleague Madison Duncan, who's behind me running the slides, are going to go through this admissions webinar for the Masters of Public Administration today. And just a few important housekeeping things. First of all, in the bottom of your screen, you can see a chat button. And actually, Maddie Duncan just posted in the chat box. If you have questions or comments at any point, that's the place to put them, and we'll answer them as we're going through the webinar. If there's anything we need to follow up on, we'll do that. And then the other important thing to say is that as a thank you for participating in the webinar today, we go ahead and waive your application fee to apply for admission to the School of Professional Advancements. So that's those two things. So chat is at the bottom of the screen for questions and comments, and we'll waive your application fee. And with that, I'm going to give you some background on SOPA and who we are, how we work. Halima is going to talk about the MPA program, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about the admissions and application process. And it will be relatively quick because we know you all are busy and you're taking time out of the middle of your days to be on this with us, and we really appreciate that. So for those who are not familiar with SOPA, and I know some of you are, the School of Professional Advancement is a school at Tulane that has existed for a very long time in various iterations. Tulane is an unusual elite private university for having started to educate working adults and offer applied learning programs very early in its history, arguably going all the way back to 1834 when Tulane was founded as the Medical College of Louisiana. And so we have a long history of offering these kinds of programs, but we're also in 2020, and so we have all the amazing benefits of technology to take advantage of to do these programs in an online format that brings in all kinds of resources and information that you wouldn't get access to in a regular classroom class, and is also really workable for schedules. So, and I don't know, Maddie, it seems like there's someone who's not, I don't know, something's going on with the muting. So I apologize for any background noise that we're getting. Okay, next slide, please. Great. This
At the
is a
Tulane
quick
School
video.
of Professional Advancement, our flexible programs are catered to working adults and led by experienced instructors. Our Master of Public Administration is ideal for people who want to make a difference in today's ever-changing society. This advanced degree is offered completely online, while also providing hands-on experience. It emphasizes innovations in civic leadership, technology and data, equity and diversity, and resource development. We know investing in your education is important. That's why SOPA offers financial aid, scholarships, and discounts to help with tuition and educational expenses. Credit for prior learning can be earned for work and life experience, community service, and military training. You can also transfer credits or earn credits through assessments. Strengthen your community with a career in public service. Prepare for leadership roles in local, state, and federal government, nonprofit and philanthropic organizations, and corporate settings. Influence positive, long-lasting societal change with a degree from SOPA.
Thanks a lot. Okay, so that's a new video that we've just developed, and this is our first time showing it in a webinar, so it's a big milestone. Just a quick introduction to the MPA. I'll say a little bit about the faculty, and then I'll hand things over to Halima. This is a program that was developed especially for working adults, and the student body is going to be a combination of early career people, some coming right out of college, some with a little bit of work experience, and then people who are really seasoned professionals and have spent a lot of time in the field. And the faculty itself is going to be a combination of full-time faculty at Tulane and then people who are working in the field in various ways. And so just to give Halima and myself as examples, I had a first career in public policy and public administration in New York City, including a stint overseeing workforce policy for New York City under Michael Bloomberg as mayor. It's kind of a timely thing, right? Halima brings her background in philanthropy and higher education and philanthropy in the African American community. And then you see 4 of our faculty who we've highlighted on this slide, who themselves have a lot of other things about them that are really impressive, but you know, we just picked one thing out to put on the slide. So we have tremendous diversity and tremendous experience, and it's one of the things of which we're most proud. And we know that you will benefit tremendously from learning from this faculty, and this is how all of our master's programs work at SOPA, where we bring people in from the field, they bring their real world knowledge, the fact that they're doing this work day to day, and their professional networks, and you get to benefit from them. And with that, I'll hand things off to Halima.
Thank you so much, Suri. And just I'd like to add, in thinking about our faculty as well, you as a student will get to benefit from the diverse scope of experience and knowledge that our faculty have. As I think about our program, our faculty is definitely one of the strengths of what we have built and created. So I do encourage you to go to our website and check out their bios so that you can get a full sense of their work and their accomplishments and the things that they have done throughout their careers. So as we talk about the MPA program and our degree, we have here the mission and kind of a breakdown of what you can expect. So really with our Master of Public Administration degree, it's a truly unique program, and one reason is that we've had the opportunity to develop in some present day context. So it's one of the few programs nationally that has been developed within the last several decades. And we were able to benefit from that, and that is directly responsive to issues that we face today. So as you think about the core courses that we have, and also the concentration areas and the electives, they are focused on real world context and preparing you for present day and forward thinking leadership. Also, we have had the benefit of being able to pull together that foundational knowledge that we've seen over the years and throughout history that's been proven effective, but bringing it together with contemporary practice innovations. So we really take a creative approach to dealing with and preparing you to navigate some of the complexities that you'll see working in the civic sector. And as we talked about the faculty earlier, they bring both academic qualifications and expertise in the field. And along with that, their networks as well, the things that the environments and the groups that they have been working with and exposed to, you benefit from that as well. So our program together has a very special and unique positioning in how it was developed and what you'll experience as a student. Next slide, please. So our program is flexible and accessible to you. It's an online program, and the courses are asynchronous and synchronous. And what that means is that some of the work for the courses is you do at your own pace. So that is the asynchronous element. And then the synchronous element to it is that periodically you will meet with your class at the same time online in an online format via Zoom. So you have usually a monthly meeting that is determined in the class with your professor at everyone's availability, and so that you can schedule that around your lives. You don't have to put your life on hold for this program, being that it's online, so you can continue to build your career, or you can continue to manage the things that life calls for without putting your life on hold for this program. We do speak to the needs of mid and early career professionals. So if you are someone who is currently working in the civic sector, whether it be in nonprofit, government, or private sector or corporate setting, you can certainly use this program and use the things that you'll be learning to build your career. It's also really well suited for those who are looking to kind of transition throughout their careers or pivot. So if you're a career changer and you want to seek other opportunities, this will be a great opportunity for you. And then for those who are recent graduates, we do emphasize that you have the opportunity to build experience and get exposure in the field, so that you're prepared by the time that you complete this degree to hit the ground running, so to speak, and make a difference. We also have standalone graduate certificates that are also positioned as concentration areas for the program. So those areas, and we'll get into it a little bit later in the presentation, but those offer you the opportunity to build some specialized expertise in focused areas. And we built those concentrations and those certificates to really focus on things that we saw as some of the most pressing issues in today's society. So you'll have an opportunity to perhaps choose a concentration in things like education or nonprofits that will position you to be really effective in that space. And then the degree completion timeline. If you go full-time, you would be able to complete the degree in a year, or if you did part-time, you'd be able to complete in 2 years. So again, it gives you that flexibility and that opportunity to advance in your career, or to put the work that you're doing into practice in a reasonable amount of time. So those are also things that we think will be really, really beneficial to you as students for your experience. Slide. So our core courses, just kind of breaking down the requirements a little bit more, the core courses that we have include a career-focused capstone, and the core foundational courses, again, go back to that combination of proven practice skill building areas along with practice innovation. So we include things such as public policy, but also we have courses that focus on cross-sector partnership and collaboration, issues of equity and diversity, technology, data. So all the things that we see and that we've learned that civic sector professionals grapple with and struggle with, quite frankly, throughout their careers. So we really want to prepare you to go into real world contexts. The concentrations are optional, and they're listed there. So if you decide that you want to kind of get a different type of experience that's not so focused in a specialized area, you can take electives that will allow you kind of that diversity of focus. So altogether, it's a 36 credit hour program, 12 courses, 7 of them are core, and then the remaining are either concentration or elective courses that you'll be taking. Next slide, please. And I see here, Surrey, there was a question from Tamara Simmons.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
saw that, and I wrote a response, but I want to add to it.
yeah,
So as a 36 credit program, if you want to finish it in a year, you'd have to take 4 courses at a time. But full-time enrollment at the graduate level is 9 credits. And so what we would suggest is that if you want to be in the program and you want to get it done in a 12-month period, you really shouldn't be doing much else during that time, I guess
yeah,
is how I would say it. So it's not a good thing to do with a full-time job. It's a good thing to do if it can be like most of your focus during that time.
right, exactly.
All right. And then just to say, I see another quick question is, does this program qualify for the Tulane employee tuition waiver? And the answer is that it does. All right, back to you, Helene.
Okay. So practice is something that we, in building this program, we really wanted it to be focused on practitioner and preparing you to go into the field and do the work. So we have multiple touch points where you can build hands-on experience. One of those is in the capstone, where it's an applied research project that is completed at the end of the program. So after you have developed skill, after you have gone through several of the coursework throughout the program, you have the opportunity to put it into practice through your capstone. For students who do not have experience, internship is a requirement. So to give you that extra boost of experience, and we support and assist you with finding and navigating that internship process and placement based on where you are and what your interests are. So that adds another level of the experience for you. And then we are also in the process of developing the residency that is a part of this program. It's a required residency. It's the only thing that is required for on-site, and it will take place, the dates that we have scheduled are already June 3rd through June 6th of 2021. And with the residency, you can complete it at any point in your matriculation or throughout the program. There are schools of thought that sometimes it's better to complete it on the front end to kind of give you an introduction, or you can complete it somewhere in the middle based on what your needs are and what works best for you. We realize that many of you have careers, many of you have jobs, so being able to take that time is really precious time and can be a challenge. But so we give you multiple options in terms of when you complete the residency. And I do want to put out there and say that we will give you well in advance notice of the dates for the coming years, just like we've listed here for 2021. Next slide, please. So with the civic sector, oftentimes we've noticed that people do not necessarily work in one space throughout their entire careers. They may work in nonprofits, they may work in government, they may work in the private sector. And that's one of the reasons why we put such a heavy emphasis on preparing you for cross-sector work or being able to communicate across sectors. So in terms of your career options, we think that this will really prepare you and position you to do well in any of these settings. Quite frankly, there is great projected career growth in MPA-related jobs. I have the statistics that are here by the year 2026. In our own research and building the program, there has been a thought that there is a need for capacity, and certainly it's reflected by what we see throughout society, that there is a need for more civic sector professionals who are prepared and equipped to deal with the complexities that we see in society today. And that can range from anything including more diverse communities, to technology, to issues of accessibility or transportation. So really we work to position you for various career options, and some of those examples are listed here. Certainly this is not an exhaustive list. I've talked to students who have interest in things like social innovation or some arm of engineering, and they think that this work would be great for them in building their career. So you can really use an MPA degree, and specifically our MPA degree as it's structured, to explore many, many, many career options. Next slide. So with the graduate certificates, I mentioned earlier that we have concentration areas, and then we also, which can also be taken as certificates. So if you decide to take a certificate or do the certificate first, it can be stacked into the MPA, the full MPA program. But if you do it alone, each certificate is 4 courses, and it gives you a base of specialized knowledge in a specific field. So the first 2 certificates that we're launching are the K-12 Education Leadership and Nonprofit and Strategic Philanthropy Management. The other 2 will be launching in fall of 2021, and their Economic Development and Environmental Management and Resilience. So these certificates are really designed to give you that additional expertise into a particular field. So if you elect to do the K-12 Education Leadership Certificate, for instance, it would prepare you for non-instructional work or instructional work. So if you want to work in ed policy, for instance, there's coursework that will speak to that. Or if you seek to be a system leader or perhaps are on a principalship track, some of the coursework will apply to that as well. So really our certificates are designed to give you that specialized insight and knowledge, and you can certainly take those standalone, or if you decide to do the full MPA later on, you can build it into that as well. Next slide. Yes.
All right.
So I'll turn it over to Suri.
Thank you. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about support that we give to all of our graduate students at the School of Professional Advancement. So you have an academic advisor who's assigned to work with your program specifically and work with you on developing your plan for which courses you're going to take when. We've talked about the faculty and the fact that they bring their industry experience and connections. We also have a dedicated career advisor at SOPA who provides access to programs and workshops, but also advises students individually and is an expert in working with students who have a lot of experience and are trying to figure out how to best portray that experience for their next steps professionally. And then, of course, there's the fact that you become a Tulane alum. And so you have your peers from the MPA program and from the School of Professional Advancement, but then access to all the resources that Tulane alumni have access to throughout their careers. This is something that is touched on real quickly in the video. We have a process where we can work with you to document your professional experience or your volunteer experience or training that you've already had to match it up to the learning objectives in our coursework and essentially build a portfolio that our faculty can then grade and award you a grade and you can get out of up to 2 courses if your experience lines up really well with our coursework. And we think that's a great bonus. And it's something that we offer at both the master's level and for undergraduates. And I'll talk about the application process, and then I'm going to say something about the MPA program and where we are specifically with the MPA. So we have a very straightforward application process, an online system where you set up your account. We have information we ask for about you. We ask you to write a couple of statements to let us know about your interest in the program. We care about the content of what you tell us. That's part of the application process. We also care about how you present yourself. So the writing is really important. And I mean, that's just something to know throughout the program. We have high standards for writing because we know that a lot of how you communicate throughout your career is going to be in your writing and in your presentation skills. And we want to make sure with you that those are top-notch skills. We have a $50 application fee. Like I said, that's going to be waived for you for participating in the webinar. And then we ask for transcripts from all of your prior institutions, and you can upload unofficial copies, but we will need at some point for you to have official copies sent directly from the institutions that you've gone to. And the process for that is all on our website. The special piece that I'll add that's relevant specifically to the Masters of Public Administration is that because we're just launching the program and we're recruiting and admitting students for fall 2020, we are still in the process of getting approval for the program from our accreditor. And so what we are doing until that approval comes through, and that's going to happen in the next several weeks, is we will admit you to the program, but then we'll have a few more steps after that, including that you officially accept the offer of admission. That won't take place until the program has been approved by our accreditor. And so, that's just something to note as part of the process. And it's temporary until the accreditor approval comes through, which it will. That's not even a question. We know they're reviewing our application right now, and we know it's going to be approved. It's 99.9% certain. Okay. Let's see. And then this is just a slide to tell you, we admit students 3 times a year. August 15th is the deadline for fall admission. But I would just note that we may not still be admitting students to the MPA at that point. We're working really hard to create a cohort of students for this first time around with the program, including not just your skills and experience, but also how students in the program are going to interact with one another, and diversity of all kinds, including of professional experience. And so I strongly urge you, if you are interested in the MPA, to get your application in earlier rather than later. And Halima and colleagues in the admissions process review applications relatively quickly. You'll get a response within a couple weeks when your application is truly final, most likely. So get your application in early, and we will respond to you about it very quickly. All right, and this is our tuition at the graduate level for this coming academic year. And each course is 3 credits. So with a 36 credit program, you're talking about total tuition and fees around $30,000 to $33,000, which is highly competitive compared to Tulane's peer institutions, but at the same time, we know is a big lift and a big commitment for our students. And so we do have, obviously we have financial aid available through Tulane, and going through that process, starting that process early is a good idea. We offer some institutional aid, including, for example, for active duty military and veterans, and some public servants. And then we also participate in the federal Yellow Ribbon program for veterans who have access to federal education benefits. And there you go. We're really excited because we are launching our Tulane MPA Twitter handle today. So for those of you who are on Twitter, that's a great opportunity to help us get the word out about the program. We're really active on social media. It's one of the main ways that we promote the School of Professional Advancement. And like I said, that Tulane MPA handle just is going live today. Super exciting. Welcome to 2020, right? If you have any other questions, Halima's contact information is there. We look forward to following up with you. You'll receive an email from us with a recording of this webinar, should you wish to watch it all over again, and confirming that your application fee has been waived, but also giving you the contact information for our Director of Admissions, Sheila Gold. And we are super excited about this program, and we're intimately familiar with the work that's going into building the courses right now, both of us, and we really look forward to seeing your application, and we look forward to getting to know you throughout this application process and once you become a student. That's all for me. If you want to say, and then Halima, if you have anything to add.
I just want to say thank you for joining us today, and I look forward to seeing your applications.
Thanks so much again for taking the time to be on this, and we'll be in touch with you soon. Have a good day.